Yep. Only note on this is when we drop our impetus, we want to go body to wick with the zone, body to wick. So we didn't really officially break the level until we closed above the wick, closing above the wick. Okay, closing above the wick. So coming back over here, excuse me, coming to the stage. Mhm. Okay, so if you guys see here on the impetus tool, we can see here how this is drawn up. Notice that it's drawn from the wick to the body, okay? The wick to the body. And so we need to actually close. So we talk about the body. Look, the body's here, right, on the line chart. And the wick is actually here, right here. So you're doing close to highest price for this type of zone. And once we break this area, right, this would be um, the shift point that we would need. Okay, the shift point that we would need. So you're looking at that. So as the market as the market does its thing, right? We need to actually get above not just the candles, but also the wick, right? Also the wick. So that's our impetus. Okay. And shout out to our break and retest series. This is textbook. Boop, boop, right? This was what we call the now retest. So this happened now. Retest it right now. Just as it was breaking, say hello. Boom. Right? That's a fundamental series called Old Faithful that we're in right now. So just connecting that dot, break and retest right in there. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, yep, yep. So, like I said, just be careful to include the wicks. Okay, so put it at the bottom of this morning star pattern. It would be, if you only want to draw lines, guys, then put it right there. But that would be it. And respect from a distance, yeah. Um, this would be correct. The only thing that I would say on this, and I can't remember now how much we've emphasized, but um the this would be drawn like this at this point. Okay. And if it was drawn like that, then it actually um would have been here that we shifted the structure. Okay. And how do you know how to draw it? So that's something I can clear up right now. I've said it already, I believe, in the series, but I'm going to clear it up right now for you guys. And we're going to, uh, well, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna clear up part of this answer right now. Okay. Clear it up for you guys. Part of the answer right now because I won't be able to um I won't be able to clear it all the way up without going into the other nuances. And we're going to do that next week, but I'll clear it up. This looks good. Dun, 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 dun. Impetus would be a little higher and on this. So if we look, this was the low, right? And we went up and did this. Then we came and did this. So that impetus level should go up just a little higher on this one. Or it could go a little lower depending upon how you're viewing this structure. Like this right here. Okay. Again, right now, you guys don't have the rules that will make this emphatically clear. Okay. There's some rules that we go over, some additional nuances that now there's no argument on it. Which one is it? I don't know which one to do. You guys will know exactly which one to do as we step into this next phase of making sure we understand this. Okay. Mhm. Just remember that got to be careful with which. So here's your low. So the highest high was here. So that's the impetus up here. So it wouldn't be there because we hadn't made a new low. So um, in order to really understand this, so I'm gonna come over to the chart and break this down. It really helps first if you identify your highs and you identify the structure that is happening here on the chart. Okay. So for instance, when I look at this, some people might make the mistake of putting the impetus right here. Okay. This is a very similar thing to the example that we saw with Ann. This looks like the high that made the lowest low. Okay. So our impetus level, again, reminding you guys, it's going to be the lowest high that created the lowest low. Okay. This looks like it. Let me know in the chat if it looks like it to you, right? Let me know in the chat if it looks like it to you. If you would come over here and say, okay, this is my lowest high that made the lowest low. Let me know. Just be honest. If you would come over here and say, this looks like the impetus to me. What's up, David? Oh, Ava, that wasn't the submissions. I thought those were the resubmissions. My bad. Now you could take trades in the middle of the zones. Yeah. But because by the time you break the impetus, you've moved away from the zone, right? Now we're gonna talk about ways to take trades closer to the zones, but um that's coming in additional. Okay. So a lot of you guys are saying I see why not, right? I don't see why not. All right. So yep, this right here is for the untrained eye, right? The untrained eye. And even if you're moving too quickly and not thinking through the rules, because this happens a lot, right? I'll sit down with the guys like, oh, here's the impetus, and we did this, we did that. And I was just like, is that really the impetus? Like, yeah, it's the impetus. Is that really the impetus? Yeah, Chuck, I just said it's the impetus. All right, is that your final answer? Let me think about this. Yeah. Oh, I'm not really seeing it. All right, cool. All right, should have phoned a friend. All right, here we go. This is not the impetus, okay? And the way that you have to do this is you have to first acknowledge, right, the structure and look for the high. So, for instance, we have a high here, okay? We have a high here. We have a high here. And allegedly, we have a high here, okay? Now, this looks pretty simple. But here's the thing. Every high needs a low, and every low needs a high. Now, in a downtrend, every high should produce lower lows. Keyword, should produce lower lows. Now, what is the low to this high? It's right here. Market was in an uptrend at the time, and so the market made a higher high from this low. So this high has a low. What about this high? What was the low to this high? It was right here. Okay. And that makes sense because it started to come down, rebel against the overall trend. So it's starting to make, this is a higher low in comparison to that. But then this is a lower high. Okay. This high right here, every high needs a low. Where was the high? Where was the low for this high? It was right here. And that makes sense because I could see the high, the low, the lower high, the lower low. Okay, cool. Every high needs a low. Where was the high for this low? Right here. Now, here's where the problem is. Here's where the problem is. This low cannot count. This low cannot count because in a downtrend, lows must be lower. And so this low was not lower than this low. So this low cannot count. Disqualified off of a technicality. You are not a lower low. You are not the lower low, Mario Povich would say. You are not the lower low. You are a higher low. You are a higher low. So because you're a higher low and not the lower low, you can't be considered to be a part of this downtrend. Therefore, because you're disqualified, the high that is here is also disqualified. Okay? The whole team loses. This right here is not the lower low. So, because of the disqualification, we've now taken this out of the equation. And so now we could see this is the structure. This is the high that made the lowest low, not this one. We were disqualified by the fact that this is a downtrend and downtrends need lower lows. And the low that produced that high was not a lower low. The low that produced that high was not a lower low. Okay? Not a lower low. Let me do this again. Let me see what we can do here. See if we can find another example that's that textbook. Okay? Actually, let me just go back to this example. Okay? If we were drawing this up, right, you might see it like this, like this, like this. Actually, before I even do that, let's do this. Let's identify the highs. So got a high here, a high here, a high here, a high here. Okay. These are the highs in question. Now, every high you go up, here's the high below this right here. This is fine. This is part of the other trend. Okay, that's cool. That's the high. That's the low for that high. Okay. Now, where where is the low for this high? Right here. Okay, right here. Where's the low for this high? Right here. And where's the low for this high? Right here. Uh-oh. We're getting a word from our judges. They're saying that this high has been eliminated from competition. On further review, right? What happens is on further review, this high cannot work because a downtrend requires lower highs and lower lows. But in order for us to form a new lower high, we must first have a lower low. And in this case, we would have had a higher low. Okay? This low right here, this low right here, lower low. This low right here, higher low. So the high that followed that higher low, even though it's a lower high, cannot be included. The whole team has now been disqualified, leaving us with a new champion. This is the real impetus. Okay. This is the real impetus. This comes down to our understanding of structure. Our understanding of structure. Let me see if I can find one more example. Okay, bring this all the way home. Bum, bum, ba-da-ba-da, bum, bum, bum. What song is that? Dun, 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 dun. That one's a throwback. I'm not gonna go past that. The rest of it is too easy. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we'll deal with this one right here. This works. Right over here. All right, so big boy, right? Coming down. Okay, let's identify our highs. Boo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Switch shows now. Doo-doo. That one is also a lot of highs in here. A lot of highs. Judges will be busy today. Okay. Where's our impetus level? Imagine this is price zone. Where is our impetus level? Well, off of first glance, for me, I see it here. This appears to be the lowest high that created the lowest low. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like that to me. Pretty clear, Chuck. That's it right there. Okay. Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the tape. Every high needs a low. Every high needs a low. All right. Where is the low for this high? Right here. All right. Was a part of the uptrend. So it's fine. Right. But now, where was the high to this low? Right here. Where was the low to this high? Right here. Where was the low to this high? Right here. Wait, the judges are talking. They're talking. Hold on. The judges they're talking. Okay, they're saying that this low has been disqualified. What? Right. Why are they saying it's been disqualified? Because they're saying that this is an illegal low. An illegal low. Here they come. After further review, here we go. This low has been disqualified. Okay. Why? Because a downtrend needs lower highs, lower lows. They're saying that this low was higher. Higher low. Well, let's check the tape. It appears as we look closer, if this is our low, that this low right here is a higher low. So after further review, they've been disqualified, which means the whole team has been disqualified. This high has been disqualified from the competition. All right. Every high needs a low. Here we go. Here's a low. Low is lower. Looks good to us. Next one. Every high needs a low. Where's the low? Right here. Right. Cool. Next up, this low. This high. Where's the low? Right here. The judges are talking again. They're talking. I think we're noticing a pattern here. The judges seem to to not have hesitated at this one. They're over there talking. All right, yeah, it looks like there's gonna be some points deducted from this. They said let's just get this out the way because they're probably gonna ask us about this one too and this one too because these are the lows for that high and these are the lows. So here's the challenge. They're challenging and they're saying that this doesn't work. Doesn't work. Violation. Illegal low on the play. Here we go. Right here. This is a higher low. We need a lower low to even acknowledge this high. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. We're gonna cancel this out, disqualifying the whole team. Ah, man. Disqualified. Why? Because this is our low. So this low was not lower, disqualified. Okay, well, what about this one? Nope, disqualified. Well, what about this one? Nope, disqualified. They're all disqualified, disqualifying the highs, disqualifying the highs, leaving us with the reigning champ. The reigning champion is sitting right here. This is our impetus level. Okay. This is our impetus level. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is the lowest high that made the lowest low. Okay. The lowest high that made the lowest low. All right. Now, we didn't do too many uptrend examples, but it's the same principle. Every high has to have a low. Every low has to have a high. And so in an uptrend, it's the same thing. It must have higher lows and higher highs. So any low that is not a higher low, it cannot produce the higher high. The whole team gets disqualified. And so this right here, hopefully, is helping you guys understand this. Okay. I'm going to go to you guys now for the score. All right. The score. I'm going to ask you, are you a 10 on this concept? Are you a 9? Are you an 8? Are you a 3? Let me know in the chat. Where are you at? Okay. Where are you at? Where are you at? Are you a 10? Are you a 2? Are you a 5? Where are you scoring yourself now with these examples? Okay, where are you scoring yourself now? These examples. I'll do the end of the song now. Dun, 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 dun. That's the end of the song. Dun, 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 dun. All right, got a 10 that just came in. Got 8s coming in, 8.88, 88888. Got a 10 coming in. 9s coming in. Okay. Where are you at? Okay. Very, very important. This is one of the ways that you're going to know. Okay. There's a couple other nuances to this, but this right here, if you don't get this one, then the rest of the nuances are they're going to get you. Okay. Some of you guys are being leaving room for like you got it, but mostly got it, but we gotta continue and get to the 10. So I'm okay with that. A little bit more work to do is cool. Let's see if I can find an uptrend example real quick to show us. Okay. This is easy right here. Easy work. Easy work right here. All right. Where's the impetus level? Well, for me, this looks like it right here. Okay. Now let's see what we have to consider. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to identify my lows. Okay. I got a low here. I got a low here. Right? I got a low here, low here. Okay. A lot of lows actually. Lows here, 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 here. right? Got a low here, 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 right? A lot of lows. Every low needs a high, all right? So where's the high to this one? It's here. It works. It's a part of the old trend. That's fine. New trend is uptrend. So where is the high to that low? Well, the high to that low is right here. Okay, I'm cool with that. Well, where's the high to this low? It's right here. Let's see, does this count? Is it a higher low, a higher high? It is. Higher high. It works for me. Now, where's the high to this low? It's right here. Was it a higher high? Yep. Higher high. It works for me. Now, you might be asking, well, this is a lower low than that one. Don't you need higher lows? Yeah, you do. Now, in the beginning, you would not have known, right, to disqualify this because this would have been a part of it. But as the game continues and this low leads to the higher high here, you're gonna now know to adjust your structure because the market's still telling you we're buying. So you would have done this initially, right? But once that structure got changed, that would just erase. So that would have been fine until it wasn't. And then now we're going to get rid of that because we only want higher lows in our structure. So now we're here. Here we are. Okay. Every low needs a high. Yep. It was a high higher. Yep. We're good to go. Okay. Every low needs a high. Now, let's get on in here. Let's look at these details. Okay, here's our high, our current high right here. All right. Now, we have another high. It looks equal. And then we had another low. Okay. Now, every high needs a low. Now, what do we need? We need higher lows and we need higher highs. Now, the challenge is we had a low from this high, but we didn't move higher, right? So there's no need to have this low because we haven't had a higher low yet, right? A higher high. So because we haven't had a higher high, this low is not needed. Okay. What about this one? Not needed either because we haven't had a higher high. What about this one? Mm, not needed either because we haven't had a higher high. What about this one? Well, this one is needed. And the reason it is needed is because it's a lower low than this low. And we're about to see that it makes a higher high right here. So what ends up happening is the way this structure just went, we're going to eliminate these, and now we're also going to eliminate this one because now the lowest low is here. So now we update our structure. We're coming from here down to here, up to here. Okay. This is now our structure. Okay. All of this, right? All of this turned into just this. And now this is our low that created our highest high. All right. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Now, every low needs a high. So where's the high to this low? Right here. Was it a higher high? Yep. Looks good to me. What about this low? Where's the high to this low? Right here. Was it a higher high? No, it was a lower high. Oh, judges said disqualified. Disqualified from the competition. Okay. Now, here's the thing. As we continue to review, it didn't make a higher low. It actually made a lower low. So you know what that just did? That just said there's a new lower low in town, right? New lower low in town. So this low now has been knocked out of competition. And so now what we have here is this high because this one's no longer in consideration. We don't care about this high. It's now this low. This low made a higher high. So here we are again. Now, as we move forward, we have this high belonging to this low. Looks good because this is a higher high. Looks good. Higher high. Now we have a higher low. This is fine. Now, where's the high to this low? Right here. This is not good. Disqualified. Why? Because it's a lower high. It did not go above that level. So this has been disqualified. Disqualifying this right here as well. The whole team is disqualified, leaving us with this right here. All you guys got disqualified. Here we go. So now that the smoke has cleared, where is the last, the highest low that created the highest high? It's right here. Okay, it's right here. This is the highest low that made the highest high, making this our impetus level, not this. Okay. Uptrends must have higher lows and higher highs. Okay. So if you follow this, you go on the chart and practice, man, if you got to rewatch this over and over and over again till you get it, rewatch it because this is essential, essential for your success with the triangle defense and the concept of the impetus. Okay. Essential. Got to be able to see this in your sleep. Okay. Got to be able to see this in your sleep. And so you just have to spend the time on the chart practicing and being able to see what lows matter, what highs matter. Okay. Sometimes the high will qualify and the low will qualify, but then the market makes another lower low. So now it doesn't matter anymore because then it made a higher high. So you start to get these things out of here. Doesn't matter anymore. All of this in here, we handle this noise by paying attention to the highs, right? The high never changed, so we never had an official low that was the low. Once we made a new high, who was the winner? Who was the lowest low from this high? All these guys disappear, made a real lowest low or the real highest low now stand up, right? It's the lowest point in the pullback that creates this higher low. Okay, all these just get eliminated because the market has not advanced. Now that the market has advanced, right, we now know who was the true lowest low. Now we came over here, right, and you could just see we just broke it all the way down until we got here. While this looks like the impetus, it is not the impetus because the high that impetus came off of was not a higher high. It was a lower high making this disqualified from the competition. Okay. I promise you, you got to go through this a couple times. Okay. Got to go through this a couple times. Okay. Um, Gotta go through this a couple times. I have no idea why you guys' stream cuts off, but it just, I don't know. Seems to be a newer thing that has been occurring, but I'm still here. My stream is still running, so but I think I'm not sure what's happening. But there you guys go. Now, nobody got the song. All right, it was Night Court. Night Court. Night Court was a song. Dun 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 dun. Dun. All right, Night Court. That was it right there. Um, Best Kingdom example ever. Oh man, that's saying a lot. Okay, I gotta keep track of this. Gotta keep track of this assignment. Cause but this is good. Um, if you're not at a 10, you just gotta go practice it. Go listen, review this, rewind this, go back in there and just look. What did Chuck say? And just go through it. Just listen to me say it, do it again, do it like you're just gonna you'll see it. You'll see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay? Better than all the rest. That's funny. I'm glad. I'm glad. I felt it was pretty strong too. But it's gonna come down to the work now. Okay? It's gonna come down to the work for you to be able to see that. Um, Take a look at a couple more. That looks cool. Um, mhm. Parents understands the rules. Good job, bro. Mm. See what you did there, sir. Hmm. I'm okay with this for now because we haven't gone over all the rules. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and you made that adjustment. I see what you did there. Mm. I like how y'all got the student of month badges. Ava has hers, yeah. Terrence. That's dope that they stay with you guys. Cool. So, yeah, we're good here. All right, y'all. Thank you for submitting your homework. It allows to um do it. I know I said um to jump on in here. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. And hopefully it's helping you, right? Man, price zone is powerful, right? Look at this. Price zone is powerful. Those alerts are going off. How do we use them? Well, got to come on in here, right? Trap your triangle, right? We're going to go into some additional rules next time, okay? Next time to bring this to a place of clarity. But until then, okay, until then, here we go, okay? Impetus level right in here. Like I said, there's some other rules you guys don't know yet, but we'll work on it. Okay, we'll work on it. Once you understand the rules, you'll know that this is actually the impetus and this isn't, and you'll know why and all that jazz. There's just rules. There's rules, rules, rules. But you got to understand the core principles, and that part is important. So take some time to rewatch this weekend. Okay, be ready for Tuesday because we are going to take it to the next level. All right. And I don't want to build upon confusion. Don't want to build upon confusion.